Hello, I'm Todd Hall, President and CEO of Truliant. As we mark our 70th anniversary in 2022, we reflect on a rich history that would not be possible without the support of the great city of Winston-Salem. From our humble beginnings in 1952 to the present, where we will soon serve over 300,000 members, hire our 1,000th employee, and exceed $4 billion in assets, to a future poised for continued growth. I am proud of the work we are doing together. Truliant is grateful for and remains committed to Winston-Salem and all of Forsyth County.
Welcome to the Greater Conversations podcast. I'm Deetra Miller, the Director of Member Relations and Engagement at Greater Winston-Salem, Inc. We'll use this platform to showcase our local businesses, our community, and their stories. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. It is my pleasure today to introduce you to Nitika Wallace, the creator and founder of Winston-Salem Fashion Week. Hi, Nikita.
Hello. It's a pleasure and honor to be here.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. I cannot wait to dive in. For our listeners that have never heard about Winston-Salem Fashion Week, let's just go ahead and start there. What is Winston-Salem Fashion Week?
Wow. A lot. But I'll tell you, Winston-Salem Fashion Week is a platform that we've created for our designers, local designers. We're not exclusive to local, but designers here in the area, new boutique owners, models, anyone that wants to be a part of the fashion industry. We're providing that platform, that opportunity to give them a showcase, whether they make it to those primary markets like New York and Paris, we have that opportunity to give them that experience right here in our city in Winston-Salem Fashion.
I love that. I love that. And I love that you mentioned New York and Paris, because that was another question I had. Whenever you think of fashion, you think of these larger cities like Paris and New York and LA.
That's true.
But we're here in Winston-Salem.
Right.
What made you choose Winston-Salem as the next mecca for fashion?
Wow. Okay. Well, it can be twofold. Actually, I worked in the school system a few years ago, and working with students that were very creative, and they were pretty much always, of course, misunderstood. But they were more creative. They wanted to be artists. They wanted to be models, actors, rap artists, magazine editors. I mean, those type of platforms, actresses, and I felt that we really didn't have that platform or that outlet for them here. And I had, back in 2007, I had returned from my experience working in New York, here back in Winston, and I thought, wow, what if we had an event that allowed them this creativity without them thinking they needed to run to New York or run to Los Angeles and run to those big primary markets, which are very competitive. And if we provided the opportunity for them here and to see where it goes, if that's where their experience is, provide it for them, get them the opportunity, and let's see, they can go global and still remain here local. Wow,
that is incredible. So you've worked with students as young as high school?
High school. Actually, here's the thing. When I started posting an interest meeting back in 2014, 2015, I can't quite remember, about starting a fashion week here in Winston-Salem. And I held it at one of the libraries off of Robin Hood, I believe. And there was a line of it was a huge line of people waiting to get in.
Wow.
And when I showed up to the library, the librarian said, "These people are here to see you. What do you have going on?" And I thought, my word, there's an interest in fashion or any fashion event here in Winston-Salem. So when I found out and held this event, it was more, let's say, I want to say the baby boomers. My age.
Okay.
I'm a baby boomer and some younger. What is before the baby boomers? What were they?
Before the
Before
or after the baby
after?
boomers.
that's Gen X. That's
The
me.
Gen X, that generation.
That's you and me, Deidre.
Hush.
Those who had that passion, the hidden passion and the hobbies and the talents that never had the opportunity to show it. They were the main ones who actually came out. We had a few students, we had a few college students, but it was amazing to see that there were housewives or there were,
Wow.
people in the field and working had an opportunity to try to work their hand at what they love to do.
So
all
this was
those
going to be
years.
their second act because they didn't
Yeah.
have that outlet or opportunity before,
That's
and you brought
correct.
it here, and they jumped right
And
on
they
it.
jumped right on it.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
And that was amazing to see. I was like, wow. It wasn't just me because, growing up in the era when fashion was really, for me, highlight, I didn't have the platform. I didn't know where to start. All we thought was to go work retail and hopefully work your way up. But there were more opportunities than, that we were aware of, but now that I know of. So I think they probably got caught up in that same, we have nowhere to display that, or we can't afford it. We can't move to New York, we can't move to Paris or LA. So you kind of just put your talent on the shelf and just still love what you do, but you go into the workforce. So I believe it provided that opportunity for many of us to just get that passion out and be a part of it.
I love that you mentioned that they couldn't afford it because I'm going to assume that you knocked down a lot of barriers to entry for the folks that were interested in being a part of this. So let's talk a little bit about how someone can get involved with Winston-Salem Fashion Week.
Oh, wow. We always start with our designers first. And so usually around October and leading up through March is when we start recruiting and put an interest out there for designers to sign up. And we have a casting team that works with them, that interview them, work with them and see where their ideas are and if they're ready to showcase. It's been phenomenal. That's pretty much to get involved as far as a designer. Just look for around October is usually our interest and entry, and we kind of close it around March. Same with models. We start probably in May recruiting models. There's so many components, so we bring it up, kind of chop it up so to make sure it all flows. So if you're interested in models or if you're interested in being a designer and we have other opportunities to get involved with, you can always just go to our website, follow us, and then on social media, it's always a post about what we're doing, what's out there coming up. Be sure to sign up. Be sure to, lock in and be a part of it.
How many designers do you usually have participating in one of the events?
Our first year we had 8. That was phenomenal. We had 8. And I think we've maintained between 8 and 10 up until 2020. We did a virtual show. We had a little bit more, maybe about 10. Well, this year we have 13.
Oh, wow.
13 designers. And this is the exciting part about it. To me, they're all new, which let us know the word is getting out. We have 2 returning, but majority of them are new, and they're young. They're college students, or they're young students, or they're high school graduates, which is exciting. It's very exciting. And I'm just wait to see, can't wait to see what they bring to the table. And I know it's going to be phenomenal. We've had phenomenal designers in the past, but to see young, fresh eyes is going to be awesome.
I bet it is. What is the process like in choosing the designers and the models? Is it like American Idol gone Winston-Salem, or what is the process?
So as far as the process with designers, like I said, we have a team, and we call them cast and production team. The applications come in, and there's photos attached with those applications. And the team actually go through and they choose and they pick and then they contact that designer. Try to get that one-on-one feel of what they're looking for. Where are they? Where are they now? Are they ready? What their preparation and intentions are as a designer. And then they're chosen from there. As far as model, we just had 2 phenomenal model calls. And I think right now we have a little bit over 80 models.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. And they come, they bring their comp cards, their portfolios, and they actually audition before the model coordinator and the coach.
Oh,
so it's not quite yet like top model, but it's an experience, and it's been great.
So what got you? I'm sorry, Deidre, I'm totally walking. What got you into fashion?
What got me into fashion?
Yeah, because this seems like it's a very intense. You have to really love that to bring that to Winston-Salem. I love Winston-Salem. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I'm just saying that it seems like that's a lot of work to bring it here, but it had to have had a passion before this. So what was that passion? What brought fashion to Nikita to bring it to here?
Right. Well, I've always loved fashion. I think I had an interview a few weeks ago with the Muse, and I mentioned that growing up in a Pentecostal holiness church, that was my fashion show. You seeing my aunts, my grandmothers, and church members with those flamboyant hats, the gloves, and we're talking 60s, okay? I was a toddler in the 60s, but 70, to see that all the way throughout the years, those were the fashion shows for me.
Yes.
And my mother, about the age of 8, and she brought me a fashion plate. And I don't know if y'all know a Mattel fashion plate. You got these little plates, and you build these dolls, and you create their looks from these little plates.
Yes.
So I have that, and I still have it to this day.
Oh, my goodness.
And for some reason, that was something that I just loved to do for hours. I would create these looks. Then I got to the point where I would start dabbling into sewing and creating these looks for my dolls. Well, part of that was because of that background, seeing the women in the churches, how they dressed, the way they carried themselves. And then I got into watching fashion shows and on the television when they finally came on. And I was just mesmerized. I loved fashion. And it was something I always wanted to do. And I did work with a gentleman before I moved to Winston and got married. He was doing some fashion shows in Roanoke, Virginia, which is where I'm originally from. But Winston has always been home because my grandparents live here as well. I actually started working with him to do fashion shows. And he was doing good. He was doing great. But because I don't know, something in me, the go-getter in me, I started going to some of these high boutiques in Virginia, Roanoke, Virginia, downtown, and asking, hey, can we use your stuff in our fashion show? And they were like, well, tell us about it. And it took off from there. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things I thought, wow, I like doing that. Of course, you've moved, I left, came here, life happens, family, married, and you kind of just put those passions on the shelf until another opportunity came where I got a chance to work with a friend of mine in New York who had a design house, who needed some establishment. This was in 2003, and I worked with her from 2003 through 2007, and what we did is work with those new emerging designers to get them visibility, branding, and we got them into Fashion Week, and we got them into magazine editors, and it was just awesome to see, be in that environment, to see, what we were doing with these people who had these goals and dreams. So it's always been in me, I assume, I guess. and I just love it. I didn't have the opportunity to have someone help me and push me. And I would like to think that this is what this platform is for, is to giving those opportunities for those, who want that opportunity. And they can stay right here now. They don't have to move. They can stay right here, live their global dreams and in the comforts of Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
I love that. I love that. Well, since we touched on your background, there was something that I read in your bio. I believe that you've had the opportunity to dress some high-powered and possibly some celebrities in your lifetime.
Yeah,
Who has been your favorite to dress?
I had the opportunity to work with, and it was so long ago, Look Him.
Really?
She stands, I thought that was the most fascinating thing I had the opportunity to do, just stand back. I didn't care if I handed you the hanger, if I just fixed your collar, but I had that opportunity to dress Look Him.
Wow.
So that's the one that stands out the most that I can actually remember. Mm-hmm.
For the young people and some of the older people that are a part of Winston-Salem Fashion Week this year, not even this year, but in past years, what is your favorite story when you saw possibly that designer or model come in that may have been just a little apprehensive, a little nervous because this was brand new, and then all of a sudden after the show, things changed for them?
Just to see it all to come together and to see each one just evolve. Confidence, the ability that, I can do this. And that makes it so much worth it when you see it all come together and people leave happy or just like, this was awesome. I'm glad I had the opportunity and thank you. But yeah, just to see it all come together and make someone's dreams possible. Like I said, whether they just want to do it as a hobby or if they plan to take it to the next level, it's good to know that we were able to be a part of it and give them that push. You can do this.
Well, for the folks that are listening today, if they want to attend Winston-Salem Fashion Week, what will they experience?
You're going to experience, it's a lot of movement, a lot of action, a lot of glamour, a lot of excitement in the air. You're going to hear music. You're going to see people walking around and these in their whatever they hadn't been able to wear in years, or it's been sitting in the closet. Where can I wear it? But this is the time to bring it out and wear it. And there's an opportunity to shop and meet local small businesses, supporting them.
Yes.
You can shop. In the past, we've had little food, refreshments, drinks, and beverages. So it's an opportunity to just be at a night to feel like you're actually at a fashion week. Oh. And you can get on the red carpet, take pictures. That's one of the highlights.
You have a step and repeat and stuff?
Yes, get on the red carpet. You may get interviewed by a host. What are you wearing? And it's amazing to see the fun, the photos afterwards, who was on the red carpet. And it's just fun. So you're going to experience all of that. I enjoy it. I think the folks who's attended in the past have enjoyed it. And it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I think words can't really put it into describe it unless you actually experience it.
And I believe a lot of people in Winston-Salem have experienced it, and they are supporting it. And I believe one of your fans happens to be the mayor.
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, yes. He actually has come out quite a few times. He's come to the opening nights, and he's done the welcome. He's given us the 5-year proclamation when we celebrated 5 years. And we're known to have Fashion Week here in the city of Winston-Salem the last week of September. Yes, he's been very supportive, and it's been been an honor to see him just get behind this and push it to where it is going.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. You mentioned a lot of new designers this year and new models. Is there anything else new that the audience needs to know about to make sure that they get there to experience that?
New, what we've added, well, last year we were actually able to collaborate with the Sustainable Fashion Week from out of New York and BK Style Foundation from out of New York. And they brought the traveling event to Winston-Salem where they introduced sustainable fashion, and we did a swap event. They brought in kind of not their high end, but their newly used good apparel, and they swapped it out for, you brought 5, you got 5, you take 5. And there were some amazing pieces. People enjoyed that, and it was so much fun. Music, it was like shopping. And we were able to track who all came and the excitement. We did videos. So that's something new that we're bringing back this year, but not with New York Fashion Sustainable Fashion Week, but it's going to be Winston-Salem Edition swap event. So, and it's going to be phenomenal. I think that's going to be great. And that's the weekend. We're going to kick that off the weekend before Fashion Week.
Oh, that sounds like fun. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes.
Okay, so if you were to describe Winston-Salem Fashion Week in one word this year, what would it be?
3 words came to my mind.
Say all 3.
Growth, excitement, and power.
Power. I like that.
Yeah. This year, I feel like this is going to be like an explosion, powerful event. That's what I'm feeling. And here's the good thing. I haven't met but a handful of these designers, but just the information I'm getting from the team and everything that I'm reading and receiving, I just feel it's going to be an explosion.
That's awesome. I love that.
Explosion.
It's always a good idea or a good sign when the organizer is very excited.
Right.
If it becomes just mundane, then you have to start questioning, why do I do this? But obviously you are really, really into this, and that's awesome, which means the event's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
As
because
always,
you're
right?
awesome.
As always, that's true.
So for everyone listening, how can they find out more information about Winston-Salem Fashion Week and share your social media as well?
Oh, great. You can always visit our website, wsfashionweek.com. The tickets will go on sale the end of the month, July 31st. Please make sure you're following us on Instagram at WSF Official. That is our Instagram. And then Facebook is WS Fashion Week. So all that information, ticket information, when they go on sale, will be on our social media sites. But please make sure you follow us. That's the exciting thing.
That's awesome. Is there anything that we didn't touch on today that you would like to share with everyone listening?
I think we touched on everything. But yeah, just
Go.
And support.
Just
Come out and support. I mean, it's phenomenal to see the gifts and the talents that we have right here in our city. We don't have to go off to New York. It'd be great to go to New York Fashion Week. I have the opportunity to go when I can, but to have it right here in our own city, get that same experience, it's awesome. It's awesome. I encourage you to come. Check us out. See what's going on in the city of Winston-Salem.
All right, you heard it straight from the creator today. Check out Winston-Salem Fashion Week. And until next time. We know you enjoyed this podcast today, so join us for the next episode of Greater Conversations. By the way, you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Be sure to smash that subscribe button. Also, be sure to visit our website at winstonsalem.com. The views and opinions stated in this podcast are solely those of the contributors and not necessarily those of our sponsors, distributors, or hosting companies. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced without expressed written consent of Greater Winston-Salem, Inc. or your toast.